So this is Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
We're going to teach Jack how to wood turn. So we're going to turn between centres, all right? So you need the end bit here. So that's the headstock. This is the tail stock. That is the banjo, and this is a tool rest. This is the drive centre. That goes in there. That's a Morse taper. That's on there. So it actually, when you whack it in there, it just jams in solid, like it's just same with this end. And this is a live centre, so that actually spins. So we're going to put this bit of wood in here and in here, and we're going to make it rounder. This is a wood maker rounderer. So we want to kind of roughly be in the centre there.
Of that thing.
Yeah, a little indent in about where you reckon the centre is. That's nowhere near the bloody centre. You kind of want to have the mass of the wood around here. You're looking for the centre of mass, really, kind of more than the... whack that one in there.
Yeah.
And then you've got to bring up this end. So you need to get the banjo out of the way for a moment. And loosen that clamp off there. That's on, that's off. Now you put it in place. Hard. You want to push that so that it wedges up. So really hard. Wind it as hard as you can. Rest as close as you possibly can. So that's tight.
Yeah.
That loosens it so you can slide it. All right. Now, if it's too close, that's going to happen. You want to have about level with the axis of the turning. All right. Nice and tight with that one. Now you spin it by hand always to make sure that it's clearing. As long as it clears it, that's the main thing. I'm going to use this tool. That's a roughing down gouge, and it's a big U-shaped thing, and it's got a reasonably sharp edge on there. Yeah, nice and sharp, but we're going to even sharpen it a bit more. Guys, we'll talk about grinding and sharpening tools forever and a day, but it's pretty easy. It's about a 45-degree angle here, yeah? And it's more or less straight all the way across.
Yeah.
Okay? So there'll be guys that have all sorts of jigs and really weird stuff to sharpen their tools. But we're going to put it on there and just rotate it, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the way to know that it's the right angle is to watch the sparks, because if it's up here high like this, the sparks will come over the edge, right? If it's too low, the sparks will go down behind the edge, and that's too high then, that bit. So to get it sort of exactly right is about the point where the sparks just come over the edge. That'll give you the right angle. Okay. But you need to do that with the guard down and your safety glasses on. Here's the chisel. Right, up here nice and slowly. It's better to start low because otherwise you'll take the cutting edge off. You see the sparks going over the top, and now they're going underneath. Yeah. So that's about the right angle. And then spin it around on that way. Try and keep the sparks just very behind. Spin it around. Spin it around. Loosen your grip up a bit. That's it. Ideally, you've got just one facet on there. Yeah. We've got a couple, but that's good enough because you're going to be in the really hard wood. Yeah. That we turn here. You're going to be sharpening that in another 3 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there's some safety first things. All right. Always your fingers behind the tool rest. There's never anything on the other side of the tool rest. Never fingers over there. You can imagine what's going to happen if this is spinning and you get your fingers caught in there. Yeah. So that's not fun. Initially, we're going to hold the tool right angles to the workpiece. All right. So you're going to. This is the movement you're going to try and get. Now, if you're going to get that, you actually have to move your whole body. Right. You kind of have to keep it. Because if you stand in one spot and try and do it goes off. Right. So you do a little bit of a dance here as you're going down and keeping that parallel. Yeah. All right. Got this sort of angle on your tool here. All right. And if the bevel is rubbing, all right. So if the bottom of it's rubbing, that tool's not cutting. Yeah. All right. So you can lift up the handle slowly until it does start to cut. All right. Yeah. And when it does start to cut, that's about the angle That's about the angle you want. If you want it to stop cutting, you bring the handle down again, and you just get the bevel rubbing, and it's not cutting, and it's not going to cut at all.
How do you deal with the fact that it's like not like? What about this bit? Because that bit's gonna hit it.
Yeah, well, you're going to be cutting air for the first bits of it
Right,
until it's round. Okay, so we'll be going chip, 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 chip,
Yeah.
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this has got a little a motor in it that pulls air through those filters, blows it across your face.
Wow.
You never know when a piece is going to fly off that
course,
into your face, or even the whole bloody workpiece can come off. Turn it on now because you can't breathe almost instantaneously. You've got that on. Right, you feel the air coming across?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, your beard and all that sort of stuff goes in there.
Fancy.
Yeah, well, you don't want a piece of wood coming into your face that's spinning around at high speed. Switch it on, but the revs are down low. So as I turn this down here, that brings it up to speed. That's about 400 revs, I reckon that's doing there now, which, for a beginner, it's about where you want to start. As you move it in, right, you're going to start getting chips thrown in your face. That's okay because you've got the face mask on. So bring it in, your finger on there, that's it. Bring the tool in, try and bring it with a little lower down here first until it starts to come. Chips. There you go.
Stop it, I'm just the freaking camera
Person's got. I'll stop it for a second. And you can see. Yeah, that's what you've done so far. So you're almost down to round. So because it's getting smaller, and we'll bring that tourist right in. You can still leave yourself about an eighth of an inch. If you want to test if there's still flat bits on it, you can put that up there. Right? And you can see as you go across it's not bumping at all. Yep. And you spin it around, you have a look at the beautiful timber.
Lovely.
You could put a finish on that and call it a work of art. And you can see there's just sort of little ripples that you've got there. Now you can so that would come out with a bit of sanding.
Yeah.
But you can actually, with this particular gouge, some of the roughing gouges are just circular. But this one's got slightly, see it's got slightly flat. It's more U-shaped. Right? There's sides on the U there, right? Now you can utilise that fact on this gouge to get a finish surface on that by doing a shearing cut, right?
Right.
So rather than the tool at right angles to the workpiece, I'm going to move it, take the cut into the sort of the lower part of the valley there, right? And then move that tool across the whole thing across at this angle rather than at right angles.
Yeah, right.
So you move it. You get ribbons coming off there. Which is always pleasant.
It's way smoother.
The finish off that is almost like it's been done with a plane.
Yeah.
So have a go at doing that and see how you go. So, it's not too bad what you've done, but it's hard. You've got to keep that tool at the same angle all the way down, right? And the only way to do that is with your legs, yeah. And then you've got, you control how much you dig in by left or rightness of it now.
Yeah.
Because the bevel's in a different spot. Yeah. Beautiful. That's a good cut. All right. So that's yeah, just a little ripple in that, but it's pretty smooth. Beautiful little bit of grain in there. This is still a bit wet. It's still got a bit of water in it. You can sort of feel it there, but. If you keep it nice and firm here, and you're just going down like that, right? You don't. There's no way you can go in or out. You use the tool rest, okay, to keep you parallel to the workpiece. Keep that one going right the way down. That's beautiful. Yeah, lovely.
That's much
lovely, nice finish on that. Yeah, so that's the cylinder.
Yeah.
But you want to create a form.
Yeah.
You can use this by turning it up. Here you can put a rounded corner on there. So you can control how much it's cutting by the bevel. Not cutting that is. And again, you've got to try and move your whole body. So far, so good. It's the wood makes smaller. Very creative. It's actually a parting tool, right? Which you usually use it to make cuts to flatten off the bottom or the top. But we're just going to use it to put a few little grooves in here.
Yeah.
That's it, it's a work of art.
Oh.
This is called fluting. Fluting, yeah. It's a bit no mistake, it's a feature. Put that into these bits here. Turn it around for me. Sand that. Get it nice and warm. So when you're sanding underneath, okay, and on top, just push it back towards you.
All right.
Okay. Is it getting hot? That's cool. So it just leaves the black bits in the bottom. Plating tools are diamond shaped, and the reason is this gets really hot because you get friction on both sides of it as you go in deep. Now this is an old school parting tool, so it gets really quite hot. So the best thing to do is to bring another cut down next to it, so you've only got the friction on one side. Well, if we go down. If we go right through, it's going to fall off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go down to about there, and that's probably enough. Okay, now you've got the option of torching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
May as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's just. Cutting on the pull straight. That's it. It's done. So rub a bit of wax all over it. Don't forget the bottom's important. Always the bottom is. Everybody looks at the bottom of the wood turning. I do anyway. Well, sort of dry and hard. There you go. That's $500 in the gallery. You know. If you put your name on it, that's sure.
it.